Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be starting a new series, a new Let's Build, on the mod pack that I've just released on Curse, which is Creativerse. It's a pack simply designed all around just building and nothing but buildings. That's all we're going to be doing. Link in the description if you want to go and download the pack for yourself, but let's go ahead and jump straight in. I'm going to stick with realistic world type, which is set by default, but there is also biomes plenty, alternate terrain gen, then you normal standard Minecraft stuff. I personally prefer realistic. I'm hoping that I might get a nice foresty biome, because I wouldn't mind starting out with sort of building a small forested village. That'd be ideal. If not, we can always just sort of pause recording. I'll have a float around, see what interesting areas there are, see what we can come up with. Hopefully this won't take too long. Okay, so we're loaded in. Everything looks pretty good. I'm quite liking the look of this area actually. This looks like a real nice area, so yeah, I think I might stay where we are. So anyway, let's get some basic stuff going. By hitting the R key brings up this wheel, which has a bunch of tools that basically trigger commands that are sort of built in to make things easier. So one of the first things I'm going to do just while we talk is I'm going to pre-generate some of the world around us. Should hopefully keep things moving. You know, when we start to move around, generating new chunks, they'll already be pre-generated, so it'll keep things nice and smooth. So whilst we do that, if I just... whereabouts is the sunshine? Where is the sun? Oh, there we are. Right, okay, so right now, as we can see, the sun is moving, so that's going to be annoying. I'm just going to pause the daylight cycle. There we go. Sun's no longer moving, and I'm going to set it to midday for optimal brightness. There we are. Sorted, and our chunk generation is also complete. Alright, so a few things I want to set up. I'm going to go with, I'm just going to turn fire spread off, that way we can safely build things like fireplaces. I'm going to go with keep inventory on death, just in case I do somehow weirdly die or have to use the kill command. I'm going to turn block drops, tile drops and all that stuff off, just in case I use something like, I don't know, TNT to clear out a cave or something. It's going to drop all the blocks and fill our inventory with rubbish, so turning them off is quite good. I'm also just going to disable mob spawns, that way I can keep the difficulty on normal and manually spawn in mobs if I want to use them as some part of the build. You know, I might want to build a dungeon, put a zombie in there, and it saves us from having to go into peaceful and not have that option at all. And just to be absolutely certain, I'm also going to turn mob griefing off. Okay, so I think we are good to go. We're set up. We should be locked on the daytime. Where exactly do I want to build in here? Is there no river close by? I'd love to build on the edge of a river. I'm not... oh, hello, there's water. What's over? Is it a big lake or just a small river? There's coral, so it's obviously part of the ocean. Not quite what I had in mind. Let's have a quick peek around the general area before we start building something. Get a general idea. Okay, it's a large birch forest. A very large birch forest. Okay, definitely no rivers around here then. Well, that's a shame. I was hoping for a free-flowing stream or river. Would have been nice, but oh well. I still think it's quite a nice area. We could probably still build some kind of lumber camp, small lumber collected village type thing. So where did we come from? It was over here, wasn't it? In this nice flat area here. Yeah, I think we can build something in here anyway. Definitely no river on the other side of here. Come on, generate. Come on. I always get slow chunk generation when I'm recording. I was hoping the chunk generator would help speed things up, but I guess it only does so much. There's no rivers around here, is there? Nah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to pause and just have a quick run around the general area. Bear with me. Alright guys, so I've done a bit of flying around and I've actually found this nice free-flowing stream on the edge of this forest here. It's quite close to a mountain just over there, and there's much more where this river sort of goes out into this open area. even cuts nicely into a small cave there. But I quite liked this area. Somewhere in these trees we could have some kind of lumber camp. And obviously they're going to need water in the area, so that's quite useful. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe somewhere around here. There is also some larger space over here if we want to do some bigger builds. So this could also be a good area. But so yeah, I'm thinking this general area. Let's go ahead and we'll just get back to the water. And I'm going to go ahead and just go into the sky real quick. I'm going to point right here, and I'm just going to put in fast travel. Sorry if I got too close to my mic there. Set. As always, my first village I always call Lanilor. I actually got that name from a game, and I can't even remember the name of the game now. Divine Divinity, that was it. It's a character in Divine Divinity. So I'm going to set that. Spawn point, there we go, location Lanilor. So now if I ever travel too far away, I can just say travel to, or travel Lanilor and boink. There we go. There is also a shortcut menu for this in fast travel here. You can see I can save and load the locations to a file. I can list them. You can see Lanilor. There's also private, which we don't really need. That's for like when there's other people on the server. And finally, there's a book, which if you ever forget the commands, you can just get that book, right click it, click on your list, and there it is. Just click that name, and as you can see, I just jump straight to it. So that's really useful. All right, let's get rid of that. Okay, so we have a fast travel point for here. Let us go ahead and clear some land. So I'm going to go ahead and go into tools. I'm going to go world edit, and I'm just going to very quickly go for, actually I probably want a summit in my hand real quick. Let me try stick. Let's try that. And I'm going to go ahead and bind a world edit floating tree remover tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break them out and then right click with the new floating tree remover and disappear. And I'm going to do that again. This one's attached to the other tree, so it might not work. Yeah, figured. I hate it when this happens. Let me just go ahead. Oop, getting a bit of FPS hit there when it's doing that. Can I move you as well? Yeah, there we are. There's some more gone. But it's kind of left that tree looking a bit on the square side. So let's try and clear that up a bit. Is that no longer connecting? Doesn't look like it. Let's try it. Nah, of course, because you're attached as well, aren't you? There's always something. There we go. There we go. Not too bad. So we've got a little bit of space. Let's probably get rid of the smaller ones here as well. Why would you grow on there? That's so weird. Okay, and that leaves us with a fairly decent bit of space. I'm going to keep the tall trees and we'll try and build around those. There we are. So this should be enough room for maybe a couple of little cabins. Maybe a couple of log cabins. Let's get rid of this. You there. Let's fill that back in. You there. And let's get rid of those real quick. Because we're going to want to get down to this water somehow. Let's just disconnect you guys. Now can I delete? No, not quite. Oh, right, yeah. It's that one. You're still attached to other stuff. So it's so annoying when they get attached to other stuff, because then it won't delete them. Mind you, I suppose I can get rid of that one as well. There we go. Nice. So now we can have like a nice little walkway down to the river where they can wash clothes and get water. Alright, so we've got room. Let's try and get something built. I'm also just going to unbind that tool real quick. There we go. And then let's get rid of it. Alright, so as you can see, there's some very nice useful tools just sort of built straight into these menus. Everything else is still commands, and I'll continue to add things in here, like commands for Schematica and various other tools later as we go in new versions. After all, this is a beta. Let's have a look. Do we have... I really like this Tudor stuff, but I don't think it really works in a forest. We could do with something like some kind of stacked sort of log. Do we have stacked log? See, something like that, but actual log looking like that. That would work. That could work. Ornamental dart log. What does that look like? I wonder if you could actually use them as to build a wall. That would be interesting if I was to do that as a wall. Actually, no, that could work as a wall. And versus that. That actually looks much better though, because I just realised they have a connected texture. Okay, maybe... yeah, let's maybe go with this. Okay, so I'm going to stick with my standard, what I like to call my 5x5 modular grid, which is basically where I have a post by 4. So that's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another post, 5. And I kind of build in these 5x5 little blocks. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, just to complete this as a sort of square. 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. And then what I could do is whenever I want to add on, say this is my actual square, I would simply knock out a wall and then do the same again. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that's another 5 grid. So I work in sort of like big blocks of 5. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's how I end up making my small buildings. So I would basically just do that. And then again, if I wanted to, I could remove this and add another one here, etc, etc. And that's how I like to build. I find that's a really easy, good way to do smaller buildings, because I'm not very good at larger buildings. It's never really been my thing. They just seem oversized and unrealistic to me. But each to their own. That's not to say people who build huge buildings, you know, aren't good, because I struggle to make something that big look detailed, because there's so much room to actually fit detail into, and I struggle with it. So I like to build small. Let's fill these walls in. What do we got? Where do we go? So we need some windows on this as well, and maybe a small fireplace on one of the back walls. Oops. Nope. Okay, so there is the beginning of our log cabin. I'm just wondering if maybe that would look better without the post. Or does that become too long? Actually, no, that kind of works, because when you consider it, tree trunks are, or tree logs are pretty long. Maybe that makes a bit more sense. Let's go ahead and do that. And then, what should we use for a roof? What material? Thatch, maybe? But would thatch work out here? That's the question. Nothing new or interesting, is there? Thatch wouldn't really work on a log cabin, though. It'd have to be more wood. Mossy, no. Weathered brown, no. We might just have to go for some standard Mintzcraft stairs. Maybe just the standard spruce stuff would work. Let's get rid of you guys. Yeah, let's go ahead. You might notice actually there's much more inventory space down here. If you want to use the other bar, it goes in this slot, this row here. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It must be the top one. Yeah, top one, sorry. There you go. As you can see there. So I can use whatever's in here and whatever's in here. If I scroll back that way, you can see it's now flipped its way over. So it's good for larger builds where you need more than just the standard 9 materials. And anyway, let's jump on with the wall. Or the roof, rather. Nope. Oh, it feels good to build again. It's been such a long time since I've built anything in Minecraft, like properly. I've been so focused on getting banished out that I've kind of just neglected everything else. So it is nice to be able to come in and build. That's not to say I'm not working on banished, obviously I am. But it was nice to get an alternative project released as well. Oh, I'm getting stuck on trees. Right, we need to decide what this first house is actually going to be. Who lives here? What are their roles, their jobs? I'm going to say maybe the lumberjack. The guy who actually cut down all the wood in the first place. So that everyone could live in a house. There we go, there we go. Let's continue on. I'm going for the tall roof approach. There we are. And then loving all the ambient sound effects. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to overlay music onto this video because they're that good. I probably will, just to drown out the silent bits. I'm not the best at talking. Especially when I'm building something, I find if I'm building or actually doing something, then I kind of just lose track of what I'm saying and focus on what I'm doing. Not much of a multitasker. And finally, we'll just have a log through the middle, I think. Let's try that first, and then that. You on there. You there, though. And flick. Push you back, and flick. Alright, sweet. And now we just need to fill this in. Hence why I left that little gap. We'll probably put a window in there. Should I maybe remove that too? Or does that look too much? Windows will break it up. Whatever. Yeah, windows will break it up. Okay. Right. The other good thing is we can have the door there. I'm hoping that door will get rid of that weirdness. 'Cause that's kind of ugly. What doors have we got? Yeah, I'm gonna go spruce. No, it didn't sort that out. Yeah, I'm not liking that too much. Really not liking that too much at all. Maybe I should do that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. But hey, for now, who cares? It's whatever. Yeah, whatever. We'll come back and we can revisit that. What windows do we have? Windows. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? I want something that looks like wood, I guess. Dragon, fancy. It wouldn't be fancy, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Brown window. Let's try these brown windows. Maybe even that one. Round top. But I don't want it to be a full block. Let's have a look. Let's test these, see what they look like. So if we go there. Too prisony. Meh. That one kind of works. Again, it's doing all this weirdness. Yeah, I'm not sure I like. Not sure I like. Actually, no, it's not too bad. I'm just being overly picky. Whatever. Alright, where was it? Straight across. There. We'll do another one there. Should it be too high? Yeah, why not? Alright, I'm quite liking the way it's turning out, actually. Yeah, it's looking alright. Suppose we'll need one window in the back. Probably have a chimney this side, perhaps. But so far, so good. I'm actually quite liking the way it's turning out so far. We'll have one there, probably have another one just here. Another large one here. Turn it into a small village. Alright, bit of space inside. Maybe a cross beam. Probably squeeze some then, like a storage space up here. We can actually walk within this space. So we'll be able to fit a chest in there, that should work. We're going to need floorboards. Should I get... How do these connect from the top? They stay as floorboards, so that'll work. Yeah. I just got rid of the door, didn't I? Yeah, and I got rid of entity drops, so it didn't drop the door. That's alright, we'll put a new door down. Okay, right. Door. That one. What's that? Oh, it's iron. No. So it looked quite nice, but that's too much. And jungle just looks a bit too rickety for my taste. Door. We're going to need some lighting. Is a chandelier a bit too OTT? I don't know, let's try it. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's too much. It's going to need to be up the top, isn't it? Where's the dead center? About there. So if I put a chain first for it to hang on. Which one? Iron chain, rail? No, it's going to need to be that. Rail will connect to stuff. So it'll be that, and then chandelier. Or should it come down maybe one more? Let's try one more. It kind of works. I'm liking this. Yeah. So far, so good. Me gusta. Right. We could probably do with some road outside. Was it ground? And we're currently stood on podzol. What is that stuff? Tiger forest floor. What are these all about? Okay. Okay. None of those are really what I want right now. Old podzol. Overgrown podzol. Do these connect? No. Although these would probably be good in other places. But for now, I was looking for something specific and I can't remember what it was. I'm sure it was in here. Grassy gravel. No, I don't want grassy gravel. What does muddy dirt look like? Wait, where did that go? Muddy dirt. Nah, I still feel like there's something better. I'm sure there is. Dirt, gravel. Yeah, it kind of works. I'm still thinking of experimenting though. Small stones. How does that look? Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, I can kind of work with that. We'll just spruce up and decorate around the edges as we go. I see no reason why not to. So far so good then. I'm quite happy with the progress. Let's have a look. What other decor we got? Piles of wood. Well, that's just a given if this guy's going to be the lumberjack. Let's just put a few piles of wood outside the house. Maybe... No, there's one more. I'm missing one. I know there's a smaller one. There it is. Let me put that on there. That there. Nope. Go away. That way and there. Sweet. Small bit of fence, and then we're getting on, so I'll have to probably call it end of ep. Let's just go ahead. Throw up a few small pieces. The fence. Just there, kind of defining his space. Get rid of the rubbish. And where did I have the barrels? I saw barrels at some point. I know I did, don't lie to me. I know I saw them. So it wasn't in food, was it in decorative? Ah, barrels. Empty basket. Maybe an old chair. What else do we have? Clothesline. Nope. Sweet. Alright, looking good. Tonight you can have a chair outside your house, why not? Old empty basket. And I don't know, an old barrel. Just for now. We'll decorate some more. We're getting on nearly on 25 minutes, which is kind of what I wanted to limit to. Apologies if I didn't talk enough through that. I got so engrossed with the building. I love building in this game, especially when there's so much new stuff to build with. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to blag on. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Feel free to comment, and remember the description will hold the link to the pack if you want to go and download it and do some building yourself. Again, thanks for joining me today, and take care, and I shall see you very soon for another episode.